Hi, welcome to Smack's video tutorials. In this tutorial we're going to look in a bit more detail on the ways and the infinite ways of displaying listings. This is a very open-ended approach to your website. There's nothing that you cannot do. So we want to show you how you can really open up the design features, the layouts and the web pages, how you can bring all this together. So let's look into this in detail. So normally listings, you will display listings by the layouts that you've selected. So here's my layouts here: search results, listing details. So every time I search for a listing, this is the layout that will be rendered, and then we have our shell over that layout, and we talked about that in previous tutorials. So let's have a look at what we have at the moment. So we got crispy pizza, and we got our layout in here, and then we've got our layout shell that we've included. So anything you search for here, this is the way it's going to be displayed. So we're using our layout shell, which is this shadow here that we can format, and also we are combining that with this my listings search result, which is a custom. But now we want to broaden our horizons, because we've got some really nice products that we would like to use, and we would like to single these out into a specific web page. So web pages can also be have dynamic content in the page, similar to these items here, that rather than showing form widget, this one, it actually shows the category. So we've got special bits of code that do something extra. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a web page. So we're going to add a new web page in here that's actually going to show us some of our listings. It's going to show us, let's go for, let's have a look. Let me just choose a category that we're going to go for. We're going to go for 17368. We're going to go for reservations, because we've got quite a few entries under that. So we're going to have a link in our menu bar that's going to show us all the items under reservations, all these items here. But we're going to have a specific web page in the nav bar that will target these with a special layout. So let's do it. So what we need to do is we need to choose a layout to start with. So we need to choose a layout that we like. So this layout is applied to all our other listings, so we'll just keep that the way it is. So we go into search results, my listing search results, and we look for preset, and we look for all these layouts here. Now some of these layouts don't have add to basket, they're just basic bits of text. So all these layouts will use the title, the image that you've uploaded, anything that you've made to set up your site. So we're going to choose this one here because we're demonstrating the e-commerce site. We want an add to basket. So we're going to have this one here. So let's now select all this here. So we select that. And this bit of code here allows us to add another web page. So we're going to have reservations. And now instead of typing in text, we can add some text as well. We can say, okay, here is the ultimate reservations. And then we save. So in here, what we have is we've got one bracket here. And this bracket here gives us the layout that we've just chosen. But this bracket here will give us our category, because we need to say, well, which category are we wanting to show? We can't just show our whole products. So we need to say, okay, I like this layout. It works well for me. But also I want to target a certain category. So what we'll do now is we'll go and target the category. So we go into my listings, we go to my categories, and we turn on developer. And the developer basically turns on the IDs of each of these categories. And we're interested in this one. So this category will give us all these categories here, all the products that are in these categories. We choose that one. We don't need to save anything or add. I'm just selecting Control Copy. And now we go into our templates and we go to that. We can see here we need to add a category. So this is my reservations category here. This is the layout that I want to use for my reservations category. And we save. That's it. Perfect. So now let's have a look and see what is going to happen. So here we can see we've got reservations. We're using that layout. And when I click on reservations, that is what I'm seeing. If I click on contact us, I'm seeing that. So I click on reservations. So you can see now how easy it is to really nail down, because we can get the reservations from here, but we can also build a specific setup for reservations. We can also get to reservations from here, or we can get it through advanced search reservations, hire a tool, search. But this area gives us more control because we can set a specific layout to use for this page. Let's go back into our, so we're using now web pages rather than listings. We're using web pages, and it's seeing this bit of code here and it's saying, well, you know what, I'm not going to be just showing that. I'm going to show all my listings that have this, that are in this category, and I'm going to use this layout. So that is very nice. So we got one other little bit of interesting on this one, and you can see at the moment we've got one column. You can see it doesn't look right. There's no reason to have one column. For this particular layout, it's a compact layout, so you don't need to be spanning a whole page for this. So we got some final tweaks on this. So we're going to go show a preset, and we're going to go 3 col. So we change the preset to 1 to 3. Okay. So now we go back into our, and we can see now we've got 3 columns. Some of these images aren't big enough to fill this container. If we make it a bit smaller, you'll see that those images are big enough. So we need to upload some nice big images in there. So we could probably get by on this one with 4 columns, Okay, so 4 columns, save, and then we look and see, now we've got 4, so now our images is nearly fitting in there. Need to upload bigger images, but that's looking really nice. Now we resize this, let's see what happens. 4, 4, 3, 2, 0. So you can see how it all fits very, very nicely indeed. So now we're going to go and we're going to show this particular page in a masonry builder. And masonry builder, what it does is it automates the size of the page. You can see now, yeah, we got enough space for 5, so we're going to show 5. Yeah, and we're going to show them in a format the best way we see how they're going to fit. But now if I go smaller, you can see that they're all moving around a little bit to fit the nice space. And you can see as we go smaller, they're getting really perfect. So masonry is another way of displaying your search results, and we display masonry by using 5 column. So what we're doing here is we're showing a preset layout, not a user layout. We're showing 5 columns, which is the masonry. We're showing the category ID. We're showing the layout ID. So if we go back into layouts and we search and we go for user, you can see that user has custom in here. So your user presets will be custom, the system presets will be preset, and that then ensures that the system is picking up the correct layout. So that is going very well indeed. Let's have a look again, and that's going very nice, and we can see that we are overriding our setup. So in using that page, we're overriding the search results in here, which is just 2 columns. The masonry is the 5 columns here. This is what we've just, when we added 5 column, that's what we're getting here. So in here we're just seeing 2 columns. So if we go in here and we're going my test products, we're seeing 2 columns. But if I want to really tailor a lovely category of my products, I go reservations, and I've got another way of doing it here. You could have another page of reservations. Let's have a look here. You've got reservations. You could copy that, copy, and you could put that reservations underneath reservations, and you can call that even more. And you can actually build your site with different layouts for everything, because this now is going to have the same thing here. Let's just check that on there, refresh, and we're seeing that the reservations is working exactly right. So what we do now is we go on there, and this is then set up perfectly. So we hope, and we need to click on this one. When we click reservations, we need to add it to our menu bar here. There we go, and now it's showing even more. So you've got even more. We could say, well, even more, I'm going to just have 2 columns, and refresh that. So even more is 2 columns. but I'm going to have even more. This is purely for testing. So now when we copy that, it's not adding it to the menu bar. So we need to add it to the menu bar. Even more copy, and I'm going to add now masonry 5. And now we go and have a look. So we've got reservation, even more copy, masonry 5, even more 2. So let's now finish this tutorial with selecting another category. So rather than reservations, I want to select pizza crust. Okay, so developer, pizza crust is this number here. I go into my web pages, and I'm going to go even more. Rather than even more, I'm going to go pizza crust. And pizza crust, I know, is this ID that I've just added, and it's still using the same layout. So now if I refresh and I go pizza crust, even more, pizza crust 1. And in pizza crust I can add obviously a different layout if I wish. So if I go into layouts, I can say, well, search results for pizza crust, I want to go for this one. So it's the layout 78. Click on that there as well. And we go back into our web pages, and I go into pizza crust, and I change this here for 78. Save that. So now you can see we've got pizza crust is a completely different layout to reservations. The crust. Here is the ultimate reservations. So you can see that very powerful, because this even more, you can have all sorts of text on top of here. You can have an image. It could almost, this actually is almost acting as a category. You can add icons here. You know, it's almost acting, you've almost created a category, and this is the dynamic text in that category. So there's so many ways you can work with listings in SMACS. It's unlimitless, and we really hope that you enjoy working with it and enjoying being creative. And again, thank you very much for watching.